The Real Deal. Real fishing information from real fishing experts. Presented by Amsoil.
The Mustad double wide hook was initially designed for 2-hook crawler harnesses, and it's great for that. But I tell you what, it's also become our go-to hook for all of our live bait techniques. So let's look at what makes this so good for a 2-hook crawler harness. The key attributes of a double wide are, of course, that it's very wide hook. This allows this hook to hook up the fish better. They basically touch it, you've got them. But it also has a fairly short shank on it. And what that short shank does is, first of all, reduce the weight of the overall hook, making the crawler actually move better. But it also gives you a camming action. When that fish bites this hook, it cams into the roof of his mouth. So again, double wides and spinners just absolutely go together. Let's look at some of the other rigs, though, that I would use this hook for. With leeches, especially say on a slip sinker type rig, the key to a leech being effective is that it's allowed to swim underwater. It's got to be able to move. So you have to use a very lightweight hook and a small hook. I use a number 8 double wide for this, but again, because even though it's a little hook, because it's got that nice wide gap in it, you still got a great chance of contacting that fish's mouth when he sucks it in. So it allows him to swim, but it actually hooks the fish up after he bites. The other place that we use these hooks a lot are for our minnows. The key thing I look at on minnows is you want to look at the hook based on the size of minnow that you're using. For example, with this small little fathead here, I might only use about a number 2, maybe even just a number 4 hook. But again, nice wide gap. What that does is it allows this hook to be wider than the head of the minnow. And so therefore, when that fish bites it, again, just a great chance of hooking up with that fish. The trickier part is when you get to a little bit bigger minnows, because here you really need that wide gap of the double wide to ensure that you're going to be able to hook up this minnow. You can see this number 1 double wide here is plenty wide. It's a lot bigger than that number 2, but plenty wide even on this big minnow here, that when that fish engulfs this bait, you're going to get it in his mouth. The other great thing about these double wides is that they come with the ultra point technology, which means they're not only sharp out of the box, but even if you're banging them down on the bottom in rocks and sand, they're going to stay extremely sharp. So the double wide, great spinner hook, but I tell you what, for any live baits for walleyes, it should be your hook of choice.